Welcome back to another week of Wind Against Tide. We've hit the 20 episode mark. Can you believe it? That means 20 weeks we've been carrying on with this.
Yeah, it's a bloody good effort.
And to celebrate, we've got regular guest Joey Fernand.
Boom shakalaka.
Joey, you're here for episode 20.
Yeah, happy birthday.
You feel privileged?
Yeah, wrapped.
And
let's do this.
I see you've brought some anus destroying scorpion strike chili.
Yeah, we'll get onto that a little bit later. Got some great chili sauces to try.
And you've even brought in a 3-pack of beers.
Yeah, look.
When we were like, we've got no beers to drink with the podcast, Joe's like, hang on, boys, I got a 3-pack. Someone gave me a 3-pack for Christmas.
I actually thought he was joking when he said 3-pack. I'm like, what, like a half a 6-pack that you just had in your fridge for about 6 months?
I thought one of his tight-ass family members bought him, like got a 6-pack for himself and went, oh, shit, I haven't got Joe a present yet.
Well, it's actually really funny you say that because it was, speaking of, I was one of the biggest critics of my family's KK because they set the limit to $10. I'm like, what the hell can you buy for $10? And like, oh, but it's really unfair for such and such's family that's got this many kids. And all right, whatever, Mum.
Oh.
So then, yeah, there's the go. Apparently $10 worth of beer.
So you're upset that some poverty-stricken member of your family had you didn't want them to get off easily?
Poverty-stricken.
Your poor mum's just trying to make it a nice Christmas for everyone, and Joe wants to fleece them all.
Yeah,
I can't get the lid off this, by the way. It's like a non-twister.
Yeah, that's probably why it was $10.
Hang on.
Yeah, I can't do that. I always cut my hand off.
Look, Australia Day, I was opening up.
We spooned it for you, Dave.
Okay.
On Australia Day, I was opening up a beer. I don't know if you can see that, but that just went.
No,
Corona
just
went straight
like
through
a superficial wound that healed quite easy, Joe.
Mate, it was gashing blood on the beach.
So we have Peroni.
Are we sponsored by them, Dave?
This could be beer of the week. Peroni. It's a different looking Peroni to what I've seen before.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Allow me to take a sip mid-sentence again.
Yeah, so guys, welcome back to episode 20. Yeah, leave a like, comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe.
Quite wheaty.
So Joey, have you been out fishing lately, or?
I went out last Tuesday. Went out with Fabian, and we went out the western entrance looking for tuna. There was plenty of bait there, but I can't confidently say we marked anything what seemed to be tuna. When we were unsuccessful on the tuna, we were pretty easily able to collect live bait out, I don't know, 30 to 45 metres. We got yakkers and slimies.
Oh, so you actually went live baiting?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we towed some live baits around Pulpit Rock and Seal Rocks for no fish.
Have you really been tuna fishing if you just give up halfway through the day and try for kings though? You haven't really searched far and wide, have you?
Look, when you're not the driver of the boat, that's what happens.
Joey, you need to get your little 420 out there because I'm slaying my 420 out there.
I know.
I'm grinding it out there.
Yes.
You do really well out of that little boat. Tell me about, I know you went fishing in the past week, and did you launch from the beach?
No, I didn't. Well, my plan was because.
So where'd you go?
I did a secret mission actually.
Okay.
Because I tell the wife that I'm working, and so I've got to, put it between.
Sandwich it between refrigeration installations.
Between 4 a.m. and I guess I got to get home by 5 p.m.
Yeah. Okay.
So I did a morning session, and I want to take my brother fishing, and he lives in Torquay, so I'm like, oh, well, he's got commitments to lunchtime. I mean, up until lunchtime, so he can come fishing with me in the morning, and basically I'm like, oh, well, I'll just beach launch off Torquay there. Yeah. And have you ever been there?
Not on the beach, no.
No, well, I got there and it was supposed to be calm winds and, it was full-on waves breaking. I'm like, no, not doing that.
Yeah, forgive me, but what about, can you go through Anglesea or is it too shallow to get out through there?
No, I don't think you can. But
Is
I
it
think the
landlocked?
nearest ramp from Torquay is Barwon Heads. So I ended up navigating through that little river there and going out through the bar and yeah.
There is a ramp at Anglesea.
Just there.
Yeah, when you go just past the big jetty, there's like a beach launch thing that the pro boats use. I'm not sure if it's open to the public or not,
Yeah, right.
but yeah. So
Well, here's a little video of me
Hey, that might
going
be.
through the bar crossing if you look up there, Joey.
oh,
This is out of Barwon River.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
So you got to go through the surf beach there, and this is a bit of swell, and it wasn't too bad when I went. So boats bouncing up and down, going over a bit of swell, but
that's an exciting video.
awesome.
So yeah, how's the fishing, Adrian?
well, I went out there and I didn't see much. Nothing was on the surface, and I just chucked out a lure and caught one tuna.
So you went for what was that? You went trolling
Yeah,
and marked some fish up and hooked one
yeah, basically. So,
on a diving lure.
yeah, just the standard Halco diving lure that we tend to always use, the king brown colour. So it was funny because I wanted to get a photo of my brother holding it.
Yeah.
Before, because I tagged it, and I'm like, oh, we're going to tag this fish because I need to get my tags up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, we'll tag it. I guess, sweet.
How many tuna have you tagged so far?
I'm up to 7. It's going quite slow. I haven't had that hot session yet. And it's,
Don't worry, I added some for you.
David, I'm not taking your points.
That's not what you said on the phone the other day, confidentially.
Oh, shut up, you liar.
I'll just write my name on them, Dave. Just give me the cards.
Whatever, David.
It's not like Pokemon cards here.
I actually told him, nah, I'm doing it legit. Well, I got a goal this year, Joey, and it's going to be target 100. So
100 school
Yeah.
tuna.
I'm going to tag 100 tuna, whether school tuna or not.
Cool.
That's the plan.
That's pretty doable considering the tuna has been spread right out. You can almost get them just about all year round.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I was actually trying to get the photo. I'll show you the video. It's quite funny. So
well,
we're going to get a photo before we release it.
oh yeah, the old tuna dance.
Oh yeah, classic.
Yeah, so we didn't get a photo.
Yeah, if you're not quick with tuna, they do that thing where they just relentlessly air swim in your arms and flap.
But I did tell him, do whatever you do, this is a tag fish, do not grab it in the gills. So
Yeah.
he did well not to grab it in the gills, and that was the photo opportunity, and it slipped out of the boat. So
Did you see any salmon schools out there?
I did, Joey. It was actually quite funny because
Did you get amongst it?
no, I didn't because
Oh.
you know what's funny because you can tell the difference between a salmon school and a tuna school because
How?
there's heaps of little splashes in the salmon school.
Yeah, they're cute.
And I'm
Yeah,
like,
it
oh,
looks
what
different.
are all these boats doing there? And basically there was about 10 to 15 boats all circled around this splashing school. I'm like, what are they doing? And I get there, I'm like, oh no, it's salmon. And they're all casting these giant big poppers at this school of salmon and not getting the hook up. It was hilarious.
thinking it's tuna.
Yeah.
So Joe, you had a recent trip where
Yes.
Adrian and I saw some photos from there of quite a lot of meat on the floor of a friends of yours boat.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Went out. Look, I was really upset I couldn't make last week's podcast, but the Friday, 2 weeks ago on the Friday, yeah, it was absolutely red hot out of Barwon. I could have sent you some videos, but yeah, we
That's
had.
all right.
Basically, I'll sum it up for you, Joey. Basically, there was about 10 dead tuna on the deck and 1 bag of ice.
And some salmon.
Yes.
And some kingfish the
Well-
size of salmon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
well put.
So you went with your mate Rob, and he took some friends from church out who
Yep.
probably don't fish very much, and they relished the opportunity to collect some meats. So they had a bit of a meat collection day, which is nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
And Joe was playing decky. So Joe said to me, I've done you proud, Davey. I've filleted, I've gutted, and I've even caught some salmon.
Yeah. I did. When we're catching the tuna, look, one of the best ways that I've been taught to prepare tuna is, core them, which involves cutting around the gills and making a little circular cut around the anal and fin
Vent.
and vent. Gosh, I should know that. I got
Anal
tropical
vent.
fish, and you pull the whole entrails out, and then you stuff the inside of the tuna with ice, or like what we had on board was just a whole shopping bag full of frozen bottles of water.
So
We covered this last week, but you don't listen.
So what I can see here is one bag of ice between about 15 fish.
Deary me.
Oh my gosh, is
Deary
this actually
me.
happening? This is another stitch up.
Is there? Please tell me there is ice in them.
Yeah, there's frozen water bottles in all of those fish except the kings and the salmon.
Look,
Like
the only
this,
way-
just like this, frozen
I can-
water bottles
yep.
like this. Just
Yeah, we believe you.
rammed in there. Like a whole bulging
Okay.
Safeway bag of frozen bottles like this.
The only justification we can give is that those people don't fish very much and they needed the meat. And we'll leave that there. All right?
Well,
Joey, I want to congratulate you. That's a good session. There's about, I don't know, 15 dead fish on the deck there, so you did well.
Yeah, but look, which brings me to it's just been so interesting the last week. Like I don't know how you can put what is a successful day of the tuna. Look, yeah, obviously we caught them, but it had been windy, like flat out all week, and like that was the first window of opportunity to get on those tuna, and we caught most of them on the troll.
Yeah.
We didn't get any on the cast. They were all on the troll, those fish, which brings me to throw to you guys who go substantially a lot more than me. With these tuna at the moment, you went on Monday. I went 2 weeks ago on Friday. We caught heaps. You got one. Well, what turns these fish on and off?
I don't know, Joey. It's strange because I actually did a FOMO mission Saturday Arvo as well because Dave had smacked them Saturday morning and the fish were completely gone. The life had changed like dramatically. Like I had dolphin bait balls, which isn't normally schools of tuna with them. So
just to recap, and like Dave got him in the morning, and you.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he slayed him.
Smashed them.
Look at him.
Dave got him in the morning, and he sent you to exactly the same GPS coordinates.
No, he didn't
Yes.
send him to me. He just said
I
they're
basically
there.
spoon-fed him.
No, he didn't send
yeah,
me anything.
Yeah, but like the fish weren't there on the same after day.
He
Well,
actually,
what changed was, Joe, I was no longer there. The skipper changed. No. Okay. Oh, Adrian's giving me daggers. All right, so what
it's
happened
funny.
was...
He sent me a message, goes, oh, do you want me to go to my Lawrence and find the marks? I said, don't worry about it. I'll find them.
So, so it must have been the week for fishing with brothers because I went out with my brother Will and we did gentleman's hours launch like always because we like sleep and cruised out that eastern entrance and there's about a gazillion boats further east of us towards Inverloch. And the first thing I do is I come out the entrance and I'm like, oh, there's a few terns flying around here, but this area always holds bait, but there's barely ever fish on it. I'm like, I will go have a look anyway. And I came up on a patch of diving terns and
You did.
and had a look there. And on the depth sounder, I was marking bluefin, and that's where good electronics are very handy because I knew from that point onwards that there was 100% fish there. So I had a couple of casts, and then I said to Will, "I'll get the that's actually a different bait ball, but." Pretty cool sounder shot. You can see the tuna actually swimming through the bait there and attacking it. I said to Will, I'll set up the trolling rods because we'll have a bit of a troll and see what we can locate. And as we're drifting and I'm putting on the 8,000 various lures and spreader bars and crap everywhere in the boat, I glanced at the sounder and there was a whole pack of fish under the boat again. We'd just blown over them. I'm like, oh, shit, have a cast, Will. And he goes, oh, where do I cast? I said, well, they're going under the transducer, so we're drifting in, so I just flail one out the back of the boat. And yeah, he just cast one about 20 metres behind the boat, 2 pops, massive explosion, and he's on. And then I cast out and like probably 5 or 6 fish up on my lure. And I didn't hook up, but Will landed that one. And then just, for the rest of the morning, we just drove around finding packs of fish, casting at them, caught them all on the cast on topwater poppers, which is some of the best action you'll get. Actually, I filmed a little bit for our Instagram of
I was going to say.
Yeah.
This was the first cast of the day, wasn't it? Or
No, this is we found a really hot patch of action, and we caught. I was like a fisher cast on that.
Well, I'll go to the footage because it's really insane footage.
Yeah, if you want to chuck that up.
Listen to that real scream. So you hooked up on a popper here, and you've asking your brother to cast it, and then he hooks up too.
He's right there. Look at them all in the water.
Yeah,
It's
so
insane.
I could actually see like
Probably one.
probably a dozen fish chasing his lure in the water.
That's world class, Davey. Well done.
Thanks, Joe. So, so we did that and we were back in early afternoon. And, it sounds like once Adrian got out there, everything changed around a little bit, which I was giving him shit, but it definitely can happen.
Do you think the barometer's got anything to do with it?
Possibly.
I think it was more the tide, Joey, because Dave went at the basically top of the flood there, and when I was out, it was basically the bottom of the ebb, and we know how much the water can change in that period.
Or you push the bait elsewhere?
It pushes the green water out of the port basically, and turns fish away, or changes the bait structure, but.
So, Adrian, we aren't up to our report chat segment,
Hang on,
formerly known as the
I'm
whip
just
around.
showing some photos of you and your brother. 'Cause you got some.
Well, how about while you're showing those photos, you give Tasmanian correspondent Jonah a call, because we said we'd get him on the line 10 minutes, and that was about half an hour ago.
Actually, I've got some fisheries questions I want to ask him anyway, so
And he's
I'll see if
famous.
I can get him on the phone.
He's famously impatient, because what's happened is he's been on a network television show now. In fact, he's been on a few over the years. He has also been on Jeremy Wade's show. What's that one called?
Oh yeah, that's
River
River
Monsters.
Yeah, River Monsters. That's
Years
right.
ago, yeah. So he's done a lot of filming with some pretty big personalities. I believe on that episode they were actually hunting.
Hang on, here we go. I got Jonah here.
Hello.
Jonah, how you going?
Yeah, good. How you going,
Oh,
guys?
Jonah, I was just
Hey.
I was kind of padding for time, but I was just talking about the time that you went river monster hunting with Jeremy Wade and found a yabby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that was quite an experience.
Yep, and
But,
carry on.
what, do you want to carry on about Jeremy Wade or?
I don't know. I just thought you were going on some sort of a tangent there, and that I cut you off.
Oh, no. Look, the main thing he was trying to find was a big giant crayfish, but I
Yes.
wasn't involved in that side of things. So I hung out with him doing the fill-in bits of filming, catching the little baby crayfish, which were sort of a side story or part of the whole search for the big monster. So
Yes.
not as cool as the actual target species, but it was good. It was still good.
So he was actually there looking for the largest freshwater crayfish in the world, which resides in northern Tasmania. Is that right?
Is that the spiny black?
Yeah.
Yeah, the black one.
What's it called?
No, it's a giant freshwater crayfish. So they're in all the rivers which drain out into Bass Strait. They're highly endangered and protected. They don't get as big as they used to these days, just because their numbers have been hit and they're very old. But,
Yep. Hey, Jonah,
yeah,
you just want to flip your phone horizontal there, old boy?
There we go. We got him
How's
full
that?
screen now.
Lovely. We've got your finger and everything in frame.
Oh, hang on. How about that? Is that better?
Yeah, no, that's good. Very good. Thank you for
Beautiful.
that.
Good
Well,
stuff.
we won't get too bogged down in the yabby hunting episode. But yeah, if anyone wants to watch that, there's River Monsters with Jeremy Wade, and the episode is Tasmanian Yabbies. I don't know what it's actually called.
There's actually an illegal ripped version on YouTube, which I think most people access.
An
that
illegal
way.
rip version.
I'm supposed to be promoting the the legit version, but I actually don't know how you watch it unless you go and download the Discovery Channel or something like that. But
Yeah.
there's plenty of free versions on YouTube. So
Well, there you go. Well, we kind of contacted you as our Tasmanian correspondent because there's been some pretty interesting fishing happening down there. There was, I believe, one of the big things that you sent me a photo of the other day was a broadbill swordfish, and it was taken on a trolling lure. Is that right?
yeah, that's right. As you know me, Dave, I was very sceptical when I first heard the story. I wrote it off initially, and then I sort of spoke to a few different people, but apparently it's legit. And it was caught on the shelf somewhere on the east coast of Tassie, and apparently they were just trolling along for tuna or albacore or bluefin or whatever, and hooked that. I think it was like a 2-hour fight. I still don't know how big it was or an estimate on size, but I mean, looking from the photo, it looked to be at least maybe 150.
Yeah, I would have said
What do you
150.
reckon?
Like, what is the odds of that though? That is insane. Like the daytime, potentially maybe at nighttime you could see it happening where they're up on surface a bit more, but just middle of the day trolling along and you hook a large swordfish. It's just crazy.
Well, Dave, you've actually been off Burmese when it's happened, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, when we were up there chasing the bluefin run, I had a boat probably only about 100 metres from me catch a juvenile one while trolling during the day. So it certainly can happen. But I know down there in Tassie, good friend of the show and friend of Jonah, Leo Miller, actually put quite a lot of time into trolling for them at night, didn't he, Jonah?
Yeah, that's right. And I don't think any success. And I think it just gets it's just a hard thing to do at night when they're just up and around. You've got the whole water column to move in as well as the surface layer. But then again, getting one on a lure in the middle of the day is probably even more rare, really, when they're sitting down the bottom of the seafloor.
However, it could be a time of year thing because recently you've sent me some photos of swordfish that have been spotted sunbaking on the surface down your way.
So it's interesting, like almost every season there are these swordfish sightings of the swords sunning themselves right on the surface, and they're usually well inside the shelf in 150, 200 metres of water. And
Crazy.
I've never heard of anyone actually converting that to a hookup or a strike. Most people try and motor over, try and get footage of them, but they're pretty much they swim off pretty quickly. I've seen the odd video online of someone flicking a live bait at a sunning sword and seeing it just quickly switch onto the bait, but I don't think anyone's been able to do that successfully down here.
Well, I think that's in the US, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of guys do that, just flicking live baits at him.
There's an actual fishery in the US where they do that regularly. But it seems down here we don't have the same behavioural patterns as that. Once in a blue moon. But
and what's funny is almost every year they're seen right inshore sunning themselves. People are swording this time of year. There's not many, but there's the odd few people that sword.
Joe's sending a photo of
someone,
the original eagle hook neck swordfish that Joe happened to be there for.
I happened to be there
when
the first one. Well, I don't know if I can confidently say it was the first one, but look, it was a big deal when I was there. I went with Peter Ferguson. We went tuna fishing for the day on charter, and we came back to the ramp and seen these fellas. And I've got the date here. It was the 4th of April, 2013.
You there, Jonah?
Where was that? Where was that? In Hobart or Victoria?
Eagle Hawk
Neck.
He's talking about the one that the guys thought they had a shark follow a deep water fish up or whatever.
They were deep dropping. And what's that reel there that they've...
It's like an old Penn Senator.
That's exactly what it was, thanks.
That's right. That was a big one as well. That was a 260, I think. I was pulling up some bottom fish. It'd come up behind it. And they threw it a bait thinking it was a mako, and then got this massive sword. And I think it was only maybe it could have been a few months or a year after, and that's when Leo actually got the first recreationally targeted sword down there.
Yeah, so
but it was a bit of time after that, I think.
So realistically, that thing that they thought was a shark started the swordfish revolution for the entirety of Australia.
Yep.
Well, it's
I
pretty
don't know.
easy.
I reckon if you ask Leo, he was trying well before then, I think, but that probably gave him a bit more motivation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's pretty cool either way. And yeah, I think what we were just saying before is, if you want to catch a swordfish in Tasmania at the moment, it seems like you need to go into like 100 meters and fish on the surface.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying just before. Even though you get these sword-sided early season in 150 metres, there's people sorting now, or they have been for the last few weeks, and no one really seems to get them that early season. Pretty much February onwards, you start to hear a few here and there, but I'm not even sure if I've heard of swords caught in December or January or November. Like, I think your season seems to go a lot longer than ours. Ours is quite short most of the time.
Yeah, well, ours virtually just seems to go all year whenever there's a weather window, from what it seems like. But
Well, for the amount of people that fish the shelf at Eagle Hawk Neck, you'd think we'd get the odd sword capture in almost every month. You know, the way you guys seem to.
yeah, 100%.
At odd times at Lakes Entrance, but we don't, which is strange.
I got a question for you, Jonah. Is there sword captures beyond the shelf at Tasmania? Like, obviously, Victoria, we've got to go quite a long way to get to our shelf, but is there swords caught beyond the shelf in Tassie, being such a short distance?
What are you talking about, like 2,000 metres or something?
I'm just putting it out there. Just curious to know.
Yeah, so most of the places we're fishing are on the shelf edge, only because we don't tend to have the canyons which pop up out in 2,000, 3,000 metres, which are accessible to us. I think out of St Helens, there's quite a few canyons there, which like the commercial blue eye fishermen will go to, which are sort of beyond the shelf line. But out of the east coast, or the southeast coast, most of the time we're fishing the actual edge. I've got no doubt that if we had canyons that we could access, like within, I don't know, 20, 30 k's of the shelf line, it'd be a good fishery, without a doubt.
Yeah, well, it's like anywhere. Like up the east coast of New South Wales, there's all these very wide canyons, and I think the commercial guys do catch swords there. But the old saying in fishing is fish your feet first, and the shelf, which is what we would term relatively inshore fishing, it's as impressive structure as there is nearly anywhere out on the ocean, and the way that the bait stacks up there, that's more than likely where the main biomass of swordfish is going to be.
Yeah, I think like you guys would have heard the Cascade Plateau with I think I can't remember how far it is, but it's a few hundred nautical mile well off the shelf. But a lot of commercials, or some commercials, will go there to go and target their blue eye, and apparently all the fish there are just massive, just because it's been untouched. No, I can imagine the sword fishing there would be unreal, just for the amount of life and how remote it is. But yeah, just hard to access, really.
Yeah, awesome. Let's go.
So that's it.
Now, Jonah.
Plenty of jerry cans.
Yeah. You love a good jerry can, so.
I do.
Hey, Jonah, I've got a question for you. How'd you go with fishing with the iFish crew on the little gunshot?
Yes, that's what I was trying to get to.
Oh, because I can imagine there'd be quite a camera crew that he would have, and it's only like a 17-foot boat, and it's basically just...
It's all nose as well.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, look, logistically, it was quite tricky. It was doable. I think those guys have worked in similar setups, like all around Australia and probably the world, but so they didn't seem too fazed by it, but it was tight. It wasn't ideal. I mean, we had me, Paul, the producer, and the cameraman, and yeah, we pretty much, I had to make sure, I had to condense everything so there was no jerry cans. The deck was pretty much free. I had to bring my smaller esky, not my big 150-litre esky, and just everything we did on the deck was just had to be perfectly positioned and make sure there was no clutter. Given the minute something happens, we got the cameraman with a full-size shoulder mount camera that had to be there right in the action. So, and you guys both know how tippy it is at Brett. we had to be very mindful of that. Whenever the action was on, no, everyone couldn't rush to one corner. We had to be very careful of where we were and what we were doing. And yeah, I mean, it was good. We got the job done, and we had plenty of action. But yeah, it was certainly very tight, especially on the second day when it was blowing 20 knots.
Oh, wow.
How antiquated, though, carrying a camera the size of a small dog on your shoulder on an 18-foot boat? Wouldn't you just like get with the times and get a GoPro?
Yeah, well, this guy was unreal. Like, we had the GoPro for the underwater shots, which was on a big pole. But the cameraman, I mean, he was probably, could be wrong, but he was about 50, maybe mid-50s. And he was just a machine. He had this big camera. He literally either sat him on the driver's seat or on the esky while we were steaming, while we were out there. In all the sloth and sea, he just sat there with this big camera on his lap, just waiting, ready for action. And he couldn't put it down because he had to be ready for anything that happened, a bite or a shark swimming up to the back of the boat or whatever. So,
does he get paid well?
Crazy. Oh, I'd imagine so.
You'd imagine so.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I would have asked him. Holding like a giant camera all day, he's got to be getting paid well to do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the other thing is, you'll love this. I actually didn't. I didn't have my second life-saving motor on for this particular trip.
Yes.
I strategically thought that having the extra 35 kilos in that corner will make the ride harder, given we've already got 4 blokes on board and all the gear. So I didn't bring it. And steaming out, it was quite a good run. It was hard because I couldn't drive the gunshot hard, but every so often it would arse drag because we had so much weight, and it would spray water straight into the cab off the back of the auxiliary bracket. So they all hated the bracket, but this was probably still 100 times better than actually having a motor on there and having it lifting to the side where I'm using, one of the trim tabs down hard to try and make up for it. So they weren't fans of the bracket.
No. Yeah, well, yeah.
Wait,
I've never been a
doing?
fan of the auxiliary on that vessel, whereas you have.
What's wrong with an oar, Jonah? Come on. Everyone carries oars.
That's what I've got. That's what I had in the boat. I had 2 oars. I bought them just for the trip.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
They should be in your kit anyway. Little extendable plastic oars. Done.
Yeah, it probably should be. Yeah.
So, just quickly, Jonah, do you want to? Is there any other exciting fishing we need to know about in Tassie at the moment?
Yeah. Well, this is an interesting time where it's just starting to pick up. You get a whole mix of different species coming down because you've got the East Australian current pushing down, then you've still got the cold water down the bottom of Tassie. So we've had a few runs of bluefin, but that's slowed down. I reckon they'd be down the south coast because I think the east coast just gets too warm for them, and they don't seem to hold on the structure of the bait. But we've got the albacore coming through. The makos are firing pretty hard.
Been slaughtered in the millions, aren't they?
Yeah, there's been a few taken. Certainly has been. But
we actually looked up the age that they become mature, and it's quite incredible and fascinating what age and length they have to be. Like, I think the female is like 17 years and 9 feet to be able to produce.
Yeah.
So.
It's frightening. The issue will be if they end up getting fished out at some point, there'll be a big lag period before you actually see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't hurt to be responsible and fish within your limits, and not so much within the legal limits, but what you need yourself for a feed or whatever else,
Yeah, well, would you say that a lot of the fish being caught down there are pretty big? So would you say the lack of pups and smaller ones could be a bad sign potentially that it has been overfished?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, initially inshore we used to get a lot of small fish. I think I've told you that. It was probably similar to your Bass Strait fishery where we'd fish Storm Bay and you'd get lots of pups in the 20 to 30 kilo range, and then the odd big one. And for the last few years, those smaller mako, that smaller fishery inshore's pretty much gone. You get the odd few here and there, but it's nothing like it used to be. You used to be able to
Damn
raise maybe 3 or
Tasmanians.
4 in a day.
Yeah. I'd say similar has
ideal.
probably happened here in our Bass Strait fishery, like you were saying. So interesting times.
Striped trumper inshore as well. Do many people target striped trumper in Victorian waters?
We don't even know what they are,
Oh,
Jonah.
there.
A few
amazing.
people do, but it's very hush-hush. So there's a few, like Matt Hunt. I know Matt Hunt's got it pretty wide down there at Portland. And some guys get them also out of Lakes Entrance and stuff as well. But it's not a very hard fishery because most people are either dropping over the shelf or in closer than where the trumpeter would be.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's definitely our most popular reef fishing target, the equivalent to your snapper, I guess. For game fishing, anyway.
So we only need to fish like 7 meters of water to catch our fish.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm probably overstating a bit. I mean, for the general population, most people love their flathead and squid and everything else. But for the game fishermen, the stripies are definitely their target. But I mean, game fishing probably makes up a very small proportion of total fishing effort in the state.
I see Tasmania's going wild over the kingfish at the moment.
Yeah, the kingfish are just turning up as well. And they're actually, the average size that I've seen is actually bigger than the last few years. They're pushing right inshore into all the little bays and estuaries. And the ones that I've seen landed were, like, I think 70 centimetres, mid-70s. And I think some were 80, which is big for down here.
Yeah. I always laugh down there when, like, the majority of them are very small. And you see someone who'll have, like, a 60-centimetre king and they'll be like, landed one, got dusted or reefed by 3 of his mates. It's like,
oh yeah,
how?
It's always the big ones you lose. You know, that was probably a 10-kilo fish. You know,
yeah,
probably not, but yeah, that's what you're led to believe.
But how is a 60-centimetre king reefing anyone? It beggars belief.
I think that a lot of the times they're still hanging around the moorings, and I think I mean, that sort of fishing is also very niche. So I think if you're not used to having a lock drag or a tight drag initially, I think they run and get tangled, and
yeah, nice.
But I don't mind them. They're a bit of fun, but I prefer coming across a bit of weed on the shelf while I'm sorting or doing something else, and casting at the weed and catching bulk numbers of 40-centimetre kings. That's where it's at.
Oversized yakkers.
Oh, actually, yeah, this is interesting. A lot of the times when you do cast at these little patches of weed on the shelf, you either get little kingfish or little blue-eyed trevally.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Someone got about a month ago. They got one about probably 30 centimetres.
Yeah, that's very interesting that the little blue eye are right up on the top. Well, majority of the ones that are caught obviously are adults, and they're caught pretty hard or close to the bottom anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Very interesting.
That's the other thing with those. Yeah, it is. With a lot of those bottom fish down deep, they do move around the water column quite a bit more than people think. Especially when you see the scudder layer, they'll move right up, 200, 300 metres off the bottom, feed there, and then drop back down, and they can do that all throughout the day, and then more so at night. So
very good.
Yeah.
Well,
very interesting way of fishing.
Thank you very much, Tasmanian correspondent Jonah. We might let you go.
That's all right. I've got one other thing to add.
Yeah.
You probably won't like it, but my scientific report on bluefin eating plastic got published.
Oh.
So that was where my question to you for this week was actually stemmed from. So
I forgot what that was. Just ask it to me now.
Written down.
Oh, you're talking about a southern bluefin had plastic in its guts, are you?
Yeah. So I'll give my report a bit of a plug.
Don't read the whole thing. Just give us a summation.
No. Give you a quick summary. So probably 3 years ago,
you left a comment, Dave.
We got Go and find the comment while I'm doing this.
Where is it?
3 years.
Instagram on a comment on a.
Yeah, it was Insta. You guys liked it already, so you've acknowledged it.
Okay.
So about 3-4 years ago, we got a schoolie, I think probably about 25 kilo, which had the lid of a chemical drum in its stomach.
A lid of a chemical drum?
Yeah, pretty much a complete lid. Little bit of damage, but at the time we thought, I wonder if this is... we'd never seen anything like it before. We thought, we'll hang on to it, and if we see any other fish with this in their stomach, or if we hear of it, we'll actually write a report. So then we had Chris Cassar from Victoria, who had a fragment of like a full-size bucket in a barrel bluefin stomach.
Yep.
And then another friend down here found a bluefin with a piece of a takeaway container in its stomach.
Yeah,
So I
right.
ended up using that. The report got published, and it was quite funny. It got shared 84 times on this fisheries page, and we actually had fishermen and Rex from most of the Rex were pretty supportive, and agreed that we've got to do better with our pollution and everything else. But there was a few that were sceptical that even said that we made it up. And out of their hundreds of tuna they'd caught, they'd never seen anything like it. So it ended up being those 3 pieces of plastic were pretty significant. So
Wow.
that led into my question to you guys, which I think was, what's the weirdest thing you got in the tuna? Or
Well, you've actually
something
written,
like
what a fantastic catch, David, which is very sarcastic.
yeah.
What is the strangest
Not at
thing that you found in the stomach of a fish? I'm not going to talk about that because
Well-
Adrian will talk about the penis he found.
Well,
No,
I found
no,
a
we're
penis
past that.
in a tuna. So.
We've covered that several times.
Jonah, wait. Have you ever found a penis inside a tuna?
I haven't. I saw that and I was amazed. I was amazed.
That was from a year or so ago, but it was quite comical, I thought.
It was a bit, especially the
Don't
screenshot of the
encourage him.
thumbnail.
Don't encourage him.
You liked the thumbnail, didn't you? That was the best.
Yeah, it was good.
Gosh, I haven't found anything strange in stomachs of fish, except for like snapper. Sometimes you find fugu in their stomachs.
Oh, yeah.
Puffer fish.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Joey's laughing because of The Simpsons, basically. He's cracking up because of The Simpsons joke.
Poison
fugu.
fish.
One of my favourite jokes.
Poison fish. Tasty fish.
And followed by 10 things you need to do before you die.
Yeah, stuff like that. The rest of Jonah's question is, does matching the hatch always work? No, it doesn't. The end.
Ah, well, you give it more insight into that.
Well, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes you're better off using a contrasting lure or bait because they've seen so much of what they're feeding on that targeting your lone match hatch is very hard for them.
Well, yeah, something new might excite him and get
Yeah,
a
exactly.
bite. So
Something a bit bigger, offering more food for them.
Oh, I knew you'd say that, Dave. As big as the biggest lure possible.
you reckon? He reckons that's how he got Matty.
Oh,
He threw a big lure and
I borrowed Adrian's
Big popper.
tuna stomach penis, and
You launched a big popper.
yes. Anyway, I think that's a good point to say goodbye to Jonah.
You haven't asked Adrian or Joe though. They might have found something interesting.
Joe hasn't. Adrian,
I did kind of answer. I just said
Oh, no, hang on.
something new, big and different, colourful might be more exciting for them to want to eat. So that was my
Yeah, but what
answer.
about in fish's stomachs? Have you found anything interesting?
Yeah, the penis.
Apart from that, though.
I'm gonna sidestep your question.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to
Joey's
sidestep your question. The weirdest thing I've seen inside a tuna, and this is just for me, I know it happens to other people, but yeah, we hucked open a tuna and it had those pesky parasites in there.
Oh, those
Oh,
things
yeah,
that are on
is-
their
I've
skin.
had that as well.
oh,
in the
yeah,
flesh. It's
inside
in the
their flesh. Yeah,
In the
yeah.
flesh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
in the meat. It looks like hair lice.
Little balls.
Yeah.
Oh, we've all
Yeah.
had that.
It's quite disappointing.
They say you can still eat it, but
You know,
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it away.
you know when Dom opened up his 44 kilo mulloway, it had like a gazillion worms just in the stomach.
Really?
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah. They're I think they're called a nematode worm. I think a lot of times those sorts will stay in the stomach and they don't actually transfer through to the
Yeah,
flesh.
that's exactly
But
what happened.
you-
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll go to cut open the stomach and it'll just be a wriggling mass of worms. I've seen that in other species as well.
Yeah.
yeah, not very appealing, but doesn't affect
No.
the eating of the animal.
No.
Very good. Thank you very much for coming on, Jonah.
Yeah, no, thanks,
worries.
Jonah. It was good having you. And yeah, good insight onto the Paul Worsling cameraman. Loved it.
Yeah, no worries.
Next week we'll get you on to read every page of your 1,000-page tuna stomach report.
Oh, yes, no problems. Actually 6 pages, but yeah, I
6
can do that.
pages.
Is that all?
It's-
Didn't try very
Yeah,
hard,
it
did
was
you?
very short.
It's called
No,
a
it was
thesis,
very
Dave.
short.
Tuna
Well,
tuna
it was-
ate plastic. The end.
Yeah, spread onto 6 pages though. So think about that.
Did you make your font bigger? Comic
No,
Sans
still-
MS,
font
make
was
it a bit
still
bigger.
small. I had big photos though, big pictures. That always helps. So
Those skills from primary school coming in clutch.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, expert training.
All right, Jonah. It was good having
off-
you, mate.
Get off the line. You're wasting our show.
All right, no worries.
All right. See
All
ya.
right, thanks,
see you
Jonah.
guys.
See you, mate.
Love you.
Jonah.
Bye. Love you. That was very interesting.
You know what's funny? Joe was sending me a million photos.
What was he doing?
I don't know, and it kept turning the screen off every
Oh,
time.
sorry
he did
about that.
I was watching
well-
him. He kept sending you random clips of things that weren't even important.
It just like just look. It's fine. Let's Dave. Can we?
Wait, Dave. I'm going to show you a photo he sent me. Ready? You ready for this?
No, that you're gonna
Joe's
laugh.
like-
There's actually a significant photo.
He's got a flat head.
No,
This
no,
is what
no,
he was
no,
busy doing.
no, no, no.
Oh, the octopi.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that? Oh, there's a great story.
Hang
So
on, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay,
So
he's in his limit.
I just want to put that photo up again. I just want to tell a quick story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so good mate Andy Silvio, another fellow
Looks like he
Mauritian.
plays drums.
He plays drums. Another fellow Mauritian, Adrian. He was at Lakes Entrance a couple of weeks ago, and he was offshore, and he was catching octopus in about 40 meters, and they were just. He was drifting for Flathead, and the octopus were just sucking on the sinkers. He was catching octopus on sinkers. Have you ever heard of that before?
No, but one thing I will say is, Andy, is it?
Yeah, Andy.
You're an absolute monster. Killing that many octopi, horrible man.
He made, gee whiz. He made the most delicious octopus curry I can. I'm serious.
It's all right then.
I've got photos. No, he did a good octopus curry, which is really, really nice.
No, well, I don't really keep.
Our
Octopi?
podcast is really slowed down today, guys. We had Jonah telling us the whole fishing history of Tasmania.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Yeah, and then Joe comes on with octopus sucking sinkers. Hey, something you don't see every day. Come on.
I was going to bounce off the octopus thing, but I think we don't care. Do you want to move on?
Yeah.
What other? How many
Yeah,
other photos?
but
No. We don't.
There's one other video.
So basically, Dave was listening to another podcast and they had the same thing of reports, what we call it, or the whip around.
Oh, I thought we were going to look at all Joe's other photos he's seen.
Oh,
What
Yeah,
were they,
well,
right?
the last thing I want to talk about is actually, let's do that fishing report, and then I'm going to add in a little add-on to
I'll
that.
look forward
some
to it.
reason he sent me some marlin video that had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, no, we're not watching that.
Look, what is this?
Joe,
2015 at Lakes Entrance, I was going to add on this. There's a marlin bite about to
But it's
hopefully
like
happen
You've
again.
like taking a video of a computer here.
it's a video of a video.
It's a video of the viewfinder of Brendan's camera. But Lakes Entrance Marlin 2015. I was on board with Dave and Winger. I got shorn off after about a 8-minute fight, and I would really love to catch a marlin out of Lakes Entrance,
Okay.
perhaps this year.
Is that your goal?
What's that got to do with anything?
Well, I was going to talk about what's potentially to come with the fishing. You were going to give a fishing report, quite extensive.
Oh,
And I
okay.
said, well, maybe this is something we can look forward to, but
Right.
didn't really come out that way. But
Well,
there you go.
potentially set that up before we start the show, not while we're interviewing guests. Would be a good way.
Every
to
time
go.
every time he's sending me a photo or a video, it's cutting Jonah off, and Jonah's asking, "Oh, I can't see you guys. What's going on?"
All right.
What a
So
mess.
that was what
Yeah.
was happening.
What a
Okay.
mess. You'd think
We've-
after
we've
20
got-
episodes.
Yeah, we've got no structure whatsoever in this episode.
Right, okay. So, normally about now, to
Yeah.
get us back on the straight and narrow, we do a segment called the Whip Around.
Yeah.
But that is no longer.
Yeah, it's used by like every other fishing
Yes.
podcast that we know of.
So, yeah, it's been brought to our attention that
Let's go coast to coast.
other podcasts are using the exact terminology, the whip around, which we thought we were really, really clever and had come up with something of our own. So we like to be individuals, so we're no longer calling it the whip around. If any of our listeners would like to suggest a name for that
Oh.
segment, then that would be good.
Oh yeah, they can win a immersion apparel prize pack.
Sure. But in the meantime, I think Joe's decided we're calling it
Coast to coast.
Coast to coast. I also thought of one
Yeah.
around the fish traps. Around the traps. Around the fish traps.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
No.
I suppose you're a dad. That's a dad joke.
Ooh. Not bad, Adrian. All right, so if anyone has a good name for that segment, then let us know. So we will quickly shoot through that one because Jonah spoke for freaking ages. We do appreciate it though, Jonah. So yeah, the fishing happening. We've talked about the tuna extensively. They're everywhere.
How about snapper in Port Phillip? I know you got a report.
That was
for
my next thing. So
What week? Hang on. What week are we up to now?
Well, I have to issue a formal. Is it called a rebuke where you take back what you've said?
Yeah, I think so.
One of those things.
Yeah.
Because last week I declared snapper season closed, and I couldn't have been more wrong. Because this week, real-time fishing charters, Matt Sini, has been back on the snapper charters.
Well, have a look at these beauties.
They're-
Thumpers.
They're real good fish.
they are.
They're 4 to 5 kilo models.
So, yeah, they're genuine actual snapper, not pinkies. So, snapper season back on and looks like they're in good numbers.
Yeah, they were bagging out. They were launching like 6 and back at the ramp by 8.
Out of Martha Cove.
Yeah, yep.
I'm rolling.
You're rolling.
Let's go.
That's Joe's kind of area. Out for a snapper, back in for a topless sunbake on the beach.
Yes.
Or you lather yourself up in oil and fry away. Sounds pretty good. Moving on. Moving on with the. It's not a whip
you
around
talked up
anymore.
Joe's. Yeah, the coast to coast is done. We've basically gone through the Tasmania and the
No.
tuna and the snapper.
Okay, you're trying to hurry me up because we're already at like 50 minutes, so I'm going to do a really fast condensed version, all right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll do it really quickly. Western Port giant kingfish.
Oh,
Tassie broadbill on lures. We already spoke about that. Massive great. Oh, we got to talk about this one a little bit.
okay.
Massive great white. I think, unless this video is a hoax, in Port Phillip, apparently off Safety Beach.
Okay. So
Now,
this is the
I've
video you sent me.
I've screen recorded this. Spotted in Safety Beach.
Holy
Now,
crap.
look at that.
Oh shit.
That's close.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Apparently that's off Safety Beach. If anyone can confirm that or deny that, that'd be great. But it is actually a bit of a Sharknado happening in Port Phillip and Western Port at the moment with bronze whalers freaking everywhere.
That's true. We saw some reports of people catching them off Sorrento, and then I saw the next day there was about 20 boats casting at one fish.
So yeah, we saw Chris Cassar went live with a video of James Pappas and friends
Yeah.
catching one, like literally in the moorings around Sorrento.
Yeah, we're on, sunbakes and swims and on the boats.
And like I don't mean to jump to conclusions here, but potentially tuna frames in the water. Do you think that could contribute to bringing them in?
I reckon it does. But
Mm.
another thing about the tuna, people are keeping a lot of tuna, right?
Yeah.
It's not a bag limit. It's a possession limit.
Right.
So you're only allowed 2 in your possession. So if you go out and catch 2...
Yeah, but you're allowed 160 kilo of fillets.
No. There's a possession limit, Dave.
Yes, I see what you're saying, but nobody's keeping whole tuna in their freezer. They're keeping fillets.
So you reckon that's...
They're allowed 160 kilo
Okay.
of fillets. And that's quite a lot of small tuna.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I reckon it's just a possession limit of 2 tuna.
No, it's 2 whole or carcass form or 160 kilo of fillets.
Okay. That's a
So
bit strange.
Okay.
sucked in, Adrian.
Joey, you on my side or Dave's side?
Ah, sure. I'm keeping out of that one.
Mm.
But very interesting. Very interesting.
Good stuff, Joe. So there's heaps and heaps of bronzies in Port Phillip, but there always is this time of year.
Yeah.
Just people are seeing them because they're in shallow. One thing we were going to touch on was Brendan's Flathead journey.
So I'll put this in a short form. He basically did a 20-plus hour round trip to catch 2 flathead.
It's a bit harsh.
No, that's what he did.
Yeah.
And we kept telling him to go to Wallaga Lake. And because there's been a lot of meteries caught there.
Should have gone to 40 metres off Lake's entrance. Would have caught plenty of flathead.
And octopus.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you might have heard if you've been listening to our show, I keep mentioning on the segment formerly known as Whip Around that there seems to be like 90 plus centimetre flathead getting caught nearly every day up there near Burmie. And Brendan was made aware of this, but he said this place where he was going to, which I think it's called Camden something, Adrian?
Yeah. Camden Haven.
Yeah, so you get like 80 centimetre flathead there.
So here he is here with his 0.5 lens.
Yes.
I love the hat.
Yeah.
How's that bucket hat?
So that's one of the bigger flathead of the trip. But the photo really makes it look a lot bigger than it is, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, for sure. Like, look at that.
Yeah, he got angry at me for calling him out on that photo, by the way. But it did get a bit of a roasting on the socials. What he's done there is he's gone the old 0.5 iPhone wide-angle lens, which, look, he's not on his Pat Malone there. There's a lot of that going on at the moment. So that makes the fish look outrageously big. Nice flathead, but probably not the size of a grown adult, as it appears to be in that photo. So Brendan's flathead trip sounds like he had a lovely time. Him and Andrew Pawsey and Finn went hooning up the coast using a Porsche to tow their boat in order to flex on everyone.
He was flexing on his socials there.
Absolutely.
The V8 twin turbo thing. And
I have been in that car on a long drive. It is lovely on cruise control. Really nice.
That's good. But basically what he was doing is driving the entirety of the coast and like virtually saying, "Hello, peasants. I'm using I think so little of this luxury car that I'm using it to tow a boat, and I'm going to dunk it in salt water. That's how expendable it is to me." So,
well, they could have said, "Oh, what a wiener boat that Porsche's pulling."
Perhaps that poor boat would have had the towing of a lifetime, wouldn't it?
So Joey,
would have been gone.
Hey, one more thing to coast to coast. Few marlin out of Malakuta.
Oh,
you heard
wow.
You heard it here first.
I haven't.
Yes, I did see that.
Ah.
There you go.
I'm
I didn't know anything about
Good
it.
news, guys.
Yeah.
I've got less than a fortnight to my new motors on.
How good?
What?
420, yeah.
What's wrong with your motor?
Nothing. He's just
I want more power, more speed, more control, more everything.
yeah.
I'm putting a 70 Yami on it.
How much do you want for your motor? Might be perfect for my boat.
Well,
More than you can
my
afford.
motor has done. It's only 10 months old. I think it's up to 150 or 160 hours. It's only 10 months old, though.
Mm.
That's all that matters. So it's up for grabs.
All right.
Give me an offer.
4-stroke, Mercury.
Well, I would have thought it's probably worth about.
Give
no
me
idea.
an offer.
I'm going to say $6,000.
Okay. I'll take it.
I'm not offering you that. I think for ease of sale,
Yeah.
I'm going to act as a buyer's advocate here for you, Joe.
Oh, okay.
For ease of sale and keeping it in the family, I think we could let it go to Joe for $4,000.
Wow.
That's cheap.
That's chump change for you, real estate boy.
Oh, come on.
Well, if you can't beat $4,000, it's going to Joe.
Yeah.
Shit. Better call my dad straight away because we're half owners in our Quintrex.
Mate,
Just rip
your
rip-
420 Dory, they'll make it go to like 60k an hour.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm center driving as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Just rip another poor customer off a bit more this week, and you'll have that extra $4,000 in no time, Joe.
Hey, that's like pocket change for you, real estate
That's nothing.
dinosaurs.
I don't even
who
know why
just
you'd-
destroy everyone.
Horrible people.
Hey, are we gonna go on to the chili segment?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you bought some hot sauce in here. I think you said they rated it like 1 million shoes or something, which is nothing.
Yeah, well,
Brendan sent in a video of it today that he was eating like What was it? Some habanero chilies, like they were watermelons, basically.
Oh, I didn't have time to watch
No,
it.
look, so I brought two really lovely sauces here. One of my favourite chili shops, and this podcast isn't sponsored by this shop, but the Chili Factory.
Of course it isn't. Nobody would sponsor us.
Yeah, the Chili Factory, that's grown in the Hunter Valley in New South Wales. It's a great chili store, and we're gonna just try a couple of sauces here.
Joe, before you open it, have you already opened it and tasted it?
Me,
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't tried one, but I've tried the other.
Okay.
I've got a little game here.
Yeah.
You do a spoonful of one of these chilies, and then you answer one of the questions. Or I could do a spoonful of chili and then do the grinds my gears segment.
Okay.
Would that be good?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that'd
I just want to see you guys eat it,
Yeah.
so I can see your reaction.
All right. Well, I want. Yeah.
Joey,
we'll go.
line, line Dave up some.
We'll go.
Which
we'll-
one's the hot one?
If you're listening to this and you're not watching this, Joey's about to pour Dave 2 million shoes of hot sauce here.
Well, okay, so we'll do the pleasant one, which is actually
1 million shoes.
really nice, just on everyday food to insanity.
Yeah.
Well, so you're giving me the nice one or the horrible one?
Well, they're both nice, but just one's more hotter than the other.
Last time I had that, which was the lesser version of that, it was not good.
Well,
Oh, is that one more stronger than the other?
Well, I actually got 3 spoons out here because I want all of us 3 to do it, because Adrian, last time at Dave's Bucks at Eildon, so we made chicken wings with this sauce, but this was just, the one at Eildon was the regular version of Scorpion Strike. But
So is this different?
yeah, so this one is actually called Scorpion Strike on steroids. It's still the same chili, but I think they may have fertilize the plant a little bit better. Like nothing, there's no other
Joey,
chilies in
just
it.
tip it on the spoon. We don't want to hear the history of it.
Yeah. God.
He's tipping it on the spoon.
I'm really scared.
We got to be really.
Is that a lot?
responsible. We got to be.
Can you just show the camera that spoon?
No, we have to be responsible.
Yeah.
'Cause we don't want.
No, thanks, Joe.
Yeah,
It's,
he's
uh,
slowly showing the camera that spoon, but yeah, I
Sorry,
don't think
don't-
that's
No,
a lot.
yeah, no, we can see it.
Yep.
That's
See
good.
how much that is.
I'm happy that you're being responsible. Yeah. All right.
Where did
well,
these
I
spoons
want,
come from? Did they come from my kitchen or?
Yeah.
I want Adrian.
Yeah,
To have
Adrian
it
has to pass
first.
because he's got quite a stomach for chili.
Do I?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna go.
Oh, hang on.
No, wait. We're going to do it all together, and then we can answer some
Oh.
questions.
Okay. Have we got questions? Oh, I'll open it as well. But, Adrian's already eating his. He's jumped the gun. And he's going to act like it's not affecting him at all. What do you think,
Here
Adrian?
we go. 1, 2, 3.
Look,
Oop.
it kind of tastes like jerk chicken to me. Oh no, Joey's given up.
Oh, no.
Woohoo!
So
that was 2 million shoes, guys. So
2.8.
it's got a thing here. It says it's 25 out of 10.
yeah, that's a joke, Dave.
No, it's not. That's
Joe-
what it is.
Joey's given up.
No, I
Dave's-
haven't. I'm good.
Anyway,
Right.
so while we're here, Joey, I've decided to pull out something new for you.
Oh.
This is no ordinary gummy bear. So this
my
is
God.
for you, Joey. I bought you a present. I knew you'd come on the show today.
Oh, no.
Isn't
No,
that?
I got this gummy bear for you. Here we go here. I would like you to eat this gummy bear.
Oh, far out. All right.
Go on.
Can't be that bad.
Oh, Dave's.
Ugh. What do we got here? The gummy bear.
Oh,
So Dave's really struggling here. So Joey's just eating this gummy bear, and I'm going to explain what this is. This gummy bear is 9 million shoes. 9 million shoes, Joey.
oh my God.
This is 2.8 million.
Yeah, this is 9 million.
This is hotter than that.
Is it? Okay.
This. What do you think?
I don't know. I've never had this. That one tasted like Nando's hot sauce to me.
Oh, bullshit.
No, that's messed up. That's messed up.
Isn't that that's just gone up? Like you've had scorpion strike the other one a few times. Like that is just another level.
That was
I'm going to do grinds my gears while I'm dying.
okay.
And did you see how
To
much?
Peter Griffin for You Know What Really Grinds My Gears.
Thanks, Tom. You know what really grinds my gears?
I don't know
All right, what
what
grinds my gears? Litterers. People who throw rubbish into the water.
Joey's dying. He's eating a
can't do
9
this.
million shoe gummy there.
I'm dying.
People throw rubbish in the water. Yep.
Sick of constantly picking up rubbish in the water. People who intentionally do it are the worst. One of our friends does it. It is that bad, you jerk. One of our friends always throwing cigarette butts in the water. I tell him not to, and he does it again the next trip and laughs about it. From a different culture, a different generation, so I think we think it's all right. Other friends of ours also throw the beer bottles in the water. And you try and tell them you can't throw the beer bottles in the water because they've got plastic labels and the plastic under the cap, but they don't get it. And you end up with people catching tuna with plastic in their stomach, and Jonah has to write a really boring book about it.
Boring book, yes.
And that's what grinds my gears. Oh, and also the other day I was driving for work and I drove past a high school and watched a kid purposely throw a KFC container on the ground and kick it on the ground.
Yep.
So I called the high school and dobbed on him.
Ah, awesome. Hey, Joey, can you just come to the camera a bit closer? Because you're crying after this 9 million shoe gummy bear.
Oh,
No, I was laughing at Dave trying to spit those questions out.
So I think that's supposed to be a wrap up of the show because whatever Joey fed Dave has
can't-
destroyed him.
can't do anymore.
It's had nil effect on me. Nada, zilch.
Your eyes are glassy.
Are they? Well,
We need to. We don't have time for. We'll do these questions that we're going to do this week, next week. Oh,
Yep.
no, I'm out of water. All right, we're going to go. We're going to go edit all the boring stuff out of Jonah's interview, and then get this episode up online.
there you go.
What's up, you bloody legends? Thanks for listening to Win Against Tide again. That's it for another episode. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'd be doing us a massive favour. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Fuck, you only put a little bit on that spoon.
Oh,